What's up everybody, it's Benjamin Spay here bringing you another LEGO video with today my opinion on the upcoming Black Pearl, just to give you some food for thought in case you were thinking about buying it, because while I do think it's great overall, there are 4 drawbacks that I think are important to consider. At the time of this video, the epic and iconic Black Pearl has just been officially announced under the arguably less epic and iconic name Captain Jack Sparrow's pirate ship. Now I'm sure that the name change has to do with either recognizability or legal rights. It's a little weird but nothing major, so let's just dive right into the images first. Starting with the main one, and right off the bat I have to say that this thing does look absolutely menacing. I love the black color scheme. The sails are nice, although I would have preferred it if they had more of a curve to them. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of are the holes. I'd rather just have fully intact sails, even if that deviates from the movies. Plenty of sails to go around though. It seems like we have all the ones we also get in the movie, unlike with the previous version from 2011. Here's a photo from the back, and in case it was not obvious, here the entire bottom section has been removed because that is optional. I don't think LEGO has ever done something like this where you can have the ship either in its complete state or make it look like it's partially submerged, and to be honest, this is the first major drawback for me. On one end, the bottom section does mean that it displays nicely on the added stand or in a scene from Davy Jones' locker, but on the other I prefer the ship where it's supposed to be in the water, and where I'm not really bothered by what the bottom looks like. And upon closer inspection, it seems that quite a few parts were sacrificed to create this optional underside of the ship, which is a shame given the price and relatively cramped captain's quarter, as we'll get to in a moment. Moving on, the backside of the ship looks gorgeous. I love the attention to detail. It definitely feels like an upgrade to the original Black Pearl, and the way it is curved totally reminds me of the remade Black Sea's Barracuda from 2020. I also like how the cannons curve up alongside the hull. In fact, I think the cannons look surprisingly well, and make me a little less sad that LEGO discontinued the standard shooting cannons. Other features include a raisable anchor, detachable deck and dinghy. All of it looks great, but then we get to the another big drawback for me, the cramped interior, in particular the captain's quarter, which actually looks smaller than the 2011 version. Not to mention there doesn't appear to be any doors to it. And this is where it makes me even sadder that we get the full underside of the ship, as those parts could have been used to expand this area. The final drawback that has to do with the set itself is related to the minifigures. Overall I like the selection. I'm not that bothered by the lack of Pintel and Rigetti. I think we got a decent compensation for them from the other minifigures, and sure we miss leg printing here and there, but what bothers me the most is the reinterpretation of Barbossa. Maybe it will look better in person, but for now I kinda get the feeling that the older versions were much better, particularly with the face printing. And then of course there is the final drawback, which is the price, $380 in the US. I've seen a lot of complaining about this online, and to a certain extent I get it. LEGO sets have become a lot more expensive since 2020, and no doubt inflation and the ever increasing set size have to do with that, but I don't think that's enough to warrant this price. As always, I think it's a good idea to put things in perspective, and to that effect I would like to compare this set with another highly detailed ship that was released 5 winters ago, as Barbossa would say it. The remade Black Sea's Barracuda. Price-wise that retailed for $200 back in 2020, which adjusted for inflation is right $250 right now. And admittedly it had roughly 300 less pieces, but in my opinion it used the parts far more effectively, because you could either build a shipwreck island or a ship, both of which were very much respectable in their own way. Here the alternate build just leaves you with a useless underside of a ship. So then the question becomes, are the licensing and different build and color scheme enough to warrant $130 price difference? And honestly I find it hard to answer the question. Obviously if you like Pirates of the Caribbean this is going to be an absolute winner, but otherwise it might not be such a bad idea to track down a used copy of the Pirates of Barracuda Bay on Bricklink or your local online marketplace. The final thing to note is the gift with purchase, which is Jack Sparrow's compass, which looks okay, although if I do end up buying the ship I will most likely sell the compass to recover some of the cost, and then just display it next to my own compass that I designed some time ago. If you want to build it, link will be in the description down below for free instructions. Overall, if you can get the ship with the compass and some double VIP points, I think it could be a fair deal, but I'm definitely not going to call it a great deal by any stretch of the imagination. Keep in mind that 2020 set the Pirates of Barracuda Bay if you're looking for a pirate ship, and otherwise you may want to hold on to your money for something else. But hey, that's just me. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time when a new idea washes up on the shore of a golden beach.